There are words and phrases that soften our language, and it can feel like that's the right thing to do because it's nice. But when we're doing that, we're sending the message that we see ourselves as less than the person we're communicating with. And we may not be equal on the org chart, and that's okay. It doesn't make us less than. We're capable, competent, and confident in what we know and what we do. We need to project that. We need to assert that so that other people start believing that we're capable, competent, and confident. If we soften our language, we're indicating we're not confident. Hi, it's Carol Doherty. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about words we need to eliminate from our language, particularly as women in STEM. It's easy to fall in a trap of attempting to be nice, to be polite. It feels like that's the right thing to do, and so we soften our language. We don't want to be seen as pushy or bossy or aggressive, and so we become more passive. We weren't hired to be passive. We were hired to get our jobs done. So we need to be assertive, not aggressive, but assertive, which means I have a right to my opinion. I have a right to my thoughts. I have a right to be heard, as do you. That's it. It's that simple. It's time to assert ourselves. Here are 4 words and phrases I would like to see you banish from your communications. First, just. Second, sorry. Third, try. And fourth, I might be wrong. Now let's dive into why those are dangerous phrases. The word just, it can be used if it's used properly. If you're saying, I just finished the run, here's the data, that's fine because you're talking about a time. You're using just in a time-based manner. That's fine. Where it's dangerous and where it weakens your message is when you go up to somebody and say, I just had a quick question. Do you mind? Now you're sounding unsure of your right to ask a question. You have the right to ask a question. Come on, seriously? Let's stop that. So instead of saying, oh, I just had a quick question, do you mind? Say, I have a question, is now a good time? Very matter of fact, very simple. That's showing respect for that person's situation. It's showing respect for their time, but making it clear that you have a right to ask a question. And giving them the option of, no, now's not a good time. Then you can easily say, okay, when would be a good time? It's very simple. You have a right to ask a question. But you also show respect for the other person by asking if now is a good time. The second one is sorry. We are taught to apologize for so many things that aren't on us. Women are often taught to be the peacekeepers, to make everybody happy. And so we apologize for all kinds of things that aren't under our control. I used to live in the Chicago area and I would do training downtown. Now the downtown office was 55 miles or so from my house. And if you left early enough in the morning, and I mean really early in the morning, I could get there in about an hour and 15 minutes. Normal conditions. If I left even 15 minutes later, it could be 2 hours. So I always left early to make sure I was there on time. Classes often started at 8:30, so people could come in, check their emails, and then show up at training. Well, there was one morning I left early, but it was winter. And you would think people in Chicago would know how to drive in snow, but this was one of our first snows. It was wet, it was sloppy, and there were like 3 accidents between my house and the office. And so it took me, instead of an hour and 15, it took 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I was going to be getting there about 15 minutes before class started, which was really unusual for me. And somebody was reached out to me, hey, where are you? And I had to say, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm coming up on the exit. I'll be there shortly. So when I got there, the person who reached out to me looked at me, and instead of saying, sorry, I'm late, traffic was horrible, I just said, thanks for your patience, traffic was horrible. So instead of saying, sorry, I'm late, say, thanks for waiting, or thanks for your patience. If you say, sorry, I'm late, traffic was horrible, you're taking responsibility for traffic being horrible. In Chicago, when it snows, other people's accidents, I'm not responsible for. I couldn't fix that. And I left plenty early enough. All I could say is, thanks for your patience. Thanks for waiting. Traffic was horrible. And most of the people in the room had commuted in that day, some as far as I had. So they knew. It wasn't a surprise to anybody. So why apologize? Stop saying sorry for things that aren't in your control. Okay? If it's, sorry, I lost track of time and I didn't get this to you when I planned, maybe. If it truly was your fault you didn't get it to him on time, then yeah, sure, take ownership of that. But let's stop taking ownership of stuff outside of our control. The next one, the word try. That is a word we banned in our household when our kids were little. And the reason for that is try is a word that softens and weakens you. It softens your language, it weakens your response. Because when we say, well, we'll try, we're opening the door to failure and we're creating an out for ourselves and for other people. So if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I need you to do this, can you have it done by 5 o'clock today? It's easy to say, well, I'll try to get it done. Well, that's a placeholder statement. Are you really going to try? Or are you just saying that to make them feel good? Or are you going to give it an attempt, but you've opened the door that, well, I won't make it? Instead, say, I'll do my best to get it to you by 5. If I can't, is 9 a.m. tomorrow okay? I'll do my best. If you mean that. Or if you can't, instead of saying, well, I'll try to get it to you by 5, knowing you're not going to be able to, say, I can't get it done by 5. I can have it to you by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Will that work? If you say try, you're being nice, you're being polite. And if you're saying it when you know there's no hope of it working, you're just setting yourself up to look like you don't meet your commitments. Get rid of the word try. Do your best or provide an alternative. And then the last one, I might be wrong. How often do we say that when we're disagreeing with somebody? Somebody says, oh, X, Y, and Z will work. I might be wrong, but why? It feels like it's being nice, saying, well, I might not be right, but I think you're wrong. And it's allowing them to say, no, you're wrong. So why are we using that? Instead of saying, I might be wrong, but here's what I think, just start off with, here's what I think, and end with, did I miss anything? You're being confident in what you know. Here's what I think. Did I miss anything? Because now you're opening the door for feedback, which is respecting their opinion. It's allowing them to be heard. So avoid things that soften your language. Avoid things that soften your message. Avoid words and phrases that soften your message to be polite. It's okay to assert what you know. As a woman in STEM, you need to appear confident, capable, and competent. So stop using words and phrases that soften your language and communicate a lack of confidence in what you know. It's okay to assert yourself. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be rude, but you don't have to make yourself come across as less than. You know what you know. share it confidently, assert what you know, and you know what? People are going to start believing in you. If you found this useful, please comment, like, share, and subscribe below. You can follow me on Instagram at Carol S. Doherty for more tips and tricks on how to have a career in STEM where you thrive, not just survive. Have a great day.